Rafael Nadal is officially the most successful men's tennis player of all time, but that's not all that he's leading in. Rafa is also one of the most beloved players on the tour, so how did he earn the popularity of the crowd, and what makes him so good? Stay tuned to find out. Starting out in Majorca, we probably wouldn't know the name Rafael Nadal if it weren't for his uncle, Tony. That's a man who gave Rafa his first tennis racket at the age of just 3. Sport runs in the family. Tony's brother, Miguel Nadal, was a professional football player for FC Barcelona, so Rafael had some good sporting influences growing up. Tony never made it as a pro player. Instead, he became a manager at the Manacor Tennis Club, where Rafael first trained. He has said that what stood out to him was Nadal's approach. While most kids waited for the ball to arrive to hit it, Rafael moved forwards, towards it. By the time he was 8, he was already winning championships. By the age of 14, he was making a name for himself. When former world number 4 Pat Cash paid a visit to Majorca, he ended up playing Rafael in an exhibition match. To everyone's surprise, the young Spaniard won. Sure, it wasn't a professional match, but Rafa was already showing signs that he was heading for the highest level. By the following year, he played in his first ATP event, 2 months before his 16th birthday. By 2003, Nadal was ranked inside the top 50 in the world. 2 years later, he was up to world number 5, and to celebrate, he won his first Grand Slam. It was, of course, the French Open. He was just 19 at the time, winning over the fans' hearts. So Nadal had made it into the tennis elite, but that doesn't automatically earn you respect from the fans. Novak Djokovic remains one of the most controversial figures in tennis for his on- and off-court behavior. Rafa, on the other hand, is almost universally adored. One poll found that only 6% of people disliked Nadal, and he ranked 36th in the global sports personality rankings. So what exactly is it that makes him so popular? To start with, he has the kind of mentality that we could all probably use. He is one of the hardest workers on the tour, and it shows. Nadal fights for each and every point, sliding around the court just to return winners. But this intensity has taken its toll on his body. He was first forced to miss a tournament when he was 16 years old, and there has been a long list of injuries since then. His knee, feet, hamstring, wrist, and abdominal muscles have held him back throughout his career, and he now wears bandages on his fingers after he burnt himself in 2011. Even just this year, he fractured a rib and had to pull out of the Indian Wells final. After losing at the Italian Open in Rome, Nadal said, "I'm not injured. I'm a player living with an injury. It's nothing new." Specifically, he was talking about his foot injury. He even admitted that without taking painkillers, he wouldn't even be able to compete. His unique style of play. Nadal doesn't have the most traditional style of play in tennis. It has been described as broad, strong, and very hard on the body. He uses his entire body to generate a huge left-handed forward that ends above his head, but he runs after shots that most players can't get to. You can see the difference in style when Nadal is up against Roger Federer. The two have faced each other 40 times in total, and 24 of those times were in a final. In fact, between 2006 and 2008, it was Federer and Nadal in every single French Open and Wimbledon final. So there's plenty of footage of them going head-to-head. Nadal's strong style of play with heavy topspin often forces Federer to play defensively. Federer usually prefers to play from the baseline, using the accuracy of his accurate forehand and single-handed backhand to outplay his opponents throughout a rally. Nadal's style of play doesn't give Federer the space to play his own game, which is why Federer has credited Nadal with helping to radically improve his style of play. There's no doubt that Nadal is more physically athletic than most of his rivals. Unlike Nadal, many of the top players like Djokovic, Daniil Medvedev, or Federer are quite thin. They generate most of the power in their shot from their swing rather than their entire body like Nadal. This kind of all-or-nothing style makes Nadal a fan favorite to watch. He gives each point everything he's got. Up next, how did Nadal pull off the upset of the year at the Australian Open? And how much money did he donate to his hometown after they were hit with floods? So don't go anywhere, leaving it all on the court. Rafa can never be accused of hiding his emotions while playing. He lets out big cheers to hype himself, especially when he's down on the scoreboard. And even his obsessive routines show how much he cares about each point. point. But what fans love most is that Rafa wears his heart on his sleeve. When he lost the Australian Open to Stan Wawrinka in 2014, he apologized to the crowd for his performance, and his eyes welled up with tears. But the same goes for some of his greatest wins. When he won the French Open for the 7th time in 2012, he fell to the clay and burst into tears. And Nadal has admitted that he has a big, soft heart, saying that it doesn't take a lot to make him cry. He also revealed that when Roger Federer won the 2009 French Open, it made him shed a few tears. The relationship the two have is less of a rivalry and more of a friendship. That's part of why Nadal is well liked by fellow players too. He is honest and open with people, but that goes both ways. When he doesn't like someone, he doesn't like them, like his rival with Swedish player Robin Soderling. The height of it was at Wimbledon in 2007, when Soderling openly mocked Nadal for his long-serving routine. Nadal ended up winning the match, but it was clear that he wasn't happy with the Swede's behavior. All he had to say after the match was not nice. And now, the 2022 Australian Open. This year's Australian Open was a perfect Rafa story. He entered the tournament as the 6th seed, but his chances were helped a little by Djokovic being denied entry to Australia. That didn't help his statistics, though. The last time Nadal won an Australian Open was in 2009. The Australian Open is a hard court surface that is especially hard on the joints. That's bad news for Rafa, who is constantly battling injuries. Plus, the clay court is his strongest surface, so the cards were stacked against him before he even started playing. Unsurprisingly, he made it to the final stages, and he only dropped one set to get there. But then came some tough opponents. Nadal edged out Denis Shapovalov in a 5-set marathon on his way to the semifinals, where he took out the 7th seed Matteo Berrettini relatively easily. Then it was time for the finals up against Daniil Medvedev, who was the top seed of the tournament. Medvedev was in fine form and on a 13-match win streak, including beating Djokovic at the US Open finals in straight sets. So on paper, Nadal wasn't supposed to win, and after going down 2 sets, it looked like Medvedev would be taking the trophy. But then, Nadal bounced back. He saved 3 break points in the 3rd set, and from then on, he was unstoppable. Nadal won in 5 sets to make history with his 22nd Grand Slam and the 2nd longest major final ever at 5 hours and 24 minutes. Now that's heart. Next, helping out the community. If that's not enough reasons to love Rafa, then there's one more big one. His heart isn't just big on the court, it's also big in life. One sports journalist has revealed how much Nadal gives. In addition to playing plenty of charity matches, donates money to good causes, and gives away equipment and clothing to kids without even telling the media. He even won the Arthur Ashe Humanitarian of the Year award for his contribution to these kinds of causes. To make an even bigger difference, though, the Rafael Nadal Foundation, which helps underprivileged children access sports, education, and other support. There are now 3 locations: Mallorca, Valencia, and Madrid. During the pandemic, the foundation distributed food and hygiene products to families in need. Nadal said that he created the foundation to try to help and give back to society all the luck we have and how well life has treated us. When there were floods in his hometown in Manacor, Mallorca, Nadal didn't take long to donate €1 million to the cause. Nadal is clearly aware of how fortunate he is and never misses an opportunity to express his gratitude to tennis, the fans, and his family for making it happen. What's your favorite thing about Rafa? And is he the best player to ever play? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.